Compare how the UK was first introduced to Thomas in October 1984 with how America was in early 1989. Excluding the time gap, both introductions were completely different. But how exactly was America's introduction altered and why? Let's look into it. TV series creator Britt Allcroft had the desire to market the franchise outside of the United Kingdom. One of these was the United States. In 1988, she began searching on how she could accomplish this. Unfortunately, doing this wasn't as simple as just a few small alters here and there. The big predicament was that the episodes were too small, even with the intro and end credits added on, making a total of 5.5 minutes long. The runtime wasn't long enough for broadcasting schedules which were stricter in America compared to Britain. Television shows in America were required to fit into roughly 30-minute blocks. So if Britt wanted Thomas in America, something had to change. But how? Eventually, a deal would be done between Britt and Rick Sigelkow, a TV producer, to create a TV show that would incorporate Thomas the Tank Engine stories in the episodes. This would increase the runtime to an amount which would allow the show to be broadcasted in the USA. That show would soon be known to the public as Shining Time Station. It wasn't long after that when production began. Ringo Starr would retain his role as narrator but would also play Mr. Conductor. Diddy Conn played Stacey Jones, Leonard Jackson as Harry, Nicole Leach as Tanya, Brian O'Connor as Schemer, and Jason Walliner as Matt, or should I say Matthew. Season 1 of the show, and Season 1 only, was filmed at Metropolis Studios in New York City, as the following 2 seasons were filmed elsewhere. The shots of the actors in the station weren't filmed at a station, but were actually studio sets customly made for the show. The scenes where Ringo Starr was present was actually filmed separately from the rest of the cast. He was filmed in front of a blue screen, and yes, I said blue screen instead of green screen. It provides basically the same concept, but just an earlier version. This then made it possible for him to disappear and reappear, and was also able to be shrunken down to be 18 inches tall in editing. Yep, that was his size. The show would be about the kids at the station learning lessons from Thomas stories that Mr. Conductor tells them, and the stories told would have morals linked to whatever predicament was occurring in Shining Time. This means that not only did Ringo play the conductor, but also retain his role as narrator. 2 Thomas the Tank stories would be told each episode. Mr. Conductor would blow his whistle and the episode would transition into Thomas stories.
Ah, here we go. Thomas is a tank engine who lives at a big station on the island of Sodor.
However, the work was not done yet. Because the show was being brought to America, Ringo Starr was asked to re-record some of his lines of narration. Some of the episodes didn't have much change, while some had quite a bit. Some of the changes were made to fit US terminology, such as trucks being referred to as freight cars and guard being called conductor, which had its inconsistencies.
The guard showed his green lamp.
Another change was the Fat Controller being referred to as Sir Topham Hatt in the US dub. They intended to remove the word fat entirely from the dub. This was done so it didn't look bad, but once again had its inconsistencies.
No fear, chuckled James. I'm not so fat as you.
Whoopsies! And some lines were changed either due to the tone of his voice or, I'm pretty sure, to make certain things more obvious. If anyone knows if that's true or not, please notify me. Some were changed to alter reasons for why decisions were made. The sad story of Henry is a perfect example. Instead of Henry being bricked up as a punishment like he was in the UK dub, he was bricked up so no engines could bump into him, even though there's buffers in front of the tunnel, and so he can decide when he's ready to come out, which leads into the next change, episode titles, even if it had nothing to do with the mentioned reasons for other changes. The sad story of Henry became Come Out Henry. Good lord, I hate the title and the US dub of this episode. Thomas and Gordon became Thomas Gets Tricked, etc. These would be the titles the US audience would be introduced to when watching Thomas on VHS. The UK and US were both introduced to Thomas and Friends in very different ways. Did you like how Thomas was introduced to America? Did you think they should have done it differently? Let me know in the comments. See ya.